That's right. Oda buffed Katakuri. Katakuri is stronger now because of Oda's recent actions. And as a result, Katakuri is now moving up in my top 30 strongest characters in One Piece once again. Once again! Because that's how nasty the Lord and Savior emoji is. In the latest chapter of One Piece, we see something that just confirms, even more so, just how much of a beast Katakuri was. How to this day, there's no one like Katakuri in terms of the haki, particularly the observation haki. So, Kaido, in his weird drunken states, from flirty drunk to thieving drunk, is able to perceive the future. He shows off future sight and is able to mimic Luffy's Snakeman movements during his drunken thief state and dodge Luffy's Snakeman attacks. This is so pivotal because prior to this, Kaido had no way to perceive Snakeman. Snakeman is so fast because he's always stretching, and then wherever it bounces and ricochets, the punches, they keep on accelerating. That is the main key to Snakeman. The punches continue to get faster and faster and faster. And Luffy, in the last chapter, 1041, was able to tag Kaido immediately when he first goes into Snakeman and does the Hydra. And in that chapter, Kaido says in a small panel, where are these punches coming from? He couldn't perceive them at all until he actually activated Future Sight. So when it comes to that level of Future Sight, that observation haki, to perceive something like Snake Man, you have to activate that ability, and then for that period of time, you can actually see what's going on. So not only is it a testament to how powerful Snake Man is in terms of speed, but also it's a testament to how powerful Future Sight is. Because Kaido literally couldn't do anything to Snake Man up until he saw the future. And mind you, Kaido in base is a very fast dude. Recall in chapter 1001. In chapter 1001, when he does the Thunder Bagua, Luffy dodged the attack, but he admits it was so fast. He was using Future Sight and he barely dodged it. So in base form, Kaido was so quick that a Future Sight seeing Luffy could barely dodge him. When he's going in between all these different states in his crazy drunken dragon form, he's even more tricky, even more hard to perceive, and probably in our respects, even faster. I mean, he's in hybrid form. There's a very good case here that his hybrid form, Kaido's hybrid form, is faster than Kaido's base form. I'm willing to bet that in spades, honest to God. Him being drunk and the reaction time is questionable, if maybe possibly. However, the speed is still there. Because when Kaido just first started his drunken Dragon Bagua stuff, we see him actually dodge a Gear 3 rock punch quite easily. So the reaction's there, clearly, but again, you can maybe argue, well, okay, he's drunk, so he's not that, whatever. The whole point here is that Snake Man is that impressive, and Future Sight is that impressive. So when we revisit Katakuri in chapter 895, honest to God, one of the best fight chapters, like top 3, in top 2, in maybe the best one, in One Piece, Katakuri is able to perceive Snake Man nigh instantly. He gets tagged on the first punch, true. He does get tagged, but he's able to actually use Armor Haki Hardening to actually protect himself. And then, after the second punch, then starts to perceive Snake Man just like that. And starts to time Luffy almost, it's absurd. It is absurd just how good Katakuri is now, because he was always using that haki on a regular basis, which means that the ability that even the strongest, the Yonko, now maybe Big Mom has the ability because Oda hasn't allowed Big Mom at all to fight at full power. That's just the facts. Oda, I'm gonna say it again, Oda has not allowed Big Mom to fight at full power. So in the future, when Oda finally allows her to use her full power, then we can probably tell, all right, okay, fair enough, she has Future Sight. But until then, I'm not gonna say that she has the ability. Shanks I think has the ability, and probably even more. That's my bet here, but I'm a Shanks fanboy, and I believe that Shanks is probably the strongest person in the verse right now when it comes, potentially, when it comes to all three hakis even. So observation, armament, and conqueror's haki. I think that highly of Shanks. Because Kaido is doing this, and he has a mythical zone definitely on top of that. Shanks is in Kaido's top 5. How'd he get there? Shanks lost an arm, still Yonko, 4 billion plus berry. How'd he get there? It's gotta be some absolutely phenomenal haki. And I'm willing to bet that also includes his observation haki. I'm willing to bet a lot of money that the red-haired wonder is a beast with that. And then Blackbeard, I don't think Blackbeard has future sight. I'll be real with you. I do not think, given his power scheme, I mean, he doesn't need it, honestly, because he's just a tank, number 1. Number 2, he has 2 devil fruits, so I think he's fine. But Blackbeard probably doesn't have future sight. But thing here is this. He may have Conqueror's Haki Infusion. Maybe. So there's a chance here that this degree of future sight that we're seeing Kaido use to perceive Snakeman, that Luffy has somewhat mastered, that Katakuri is the pinnacle of, by far, at this point in time, even including Yonko. This seems to be rarer than even Conqueror's Haki Infusion. This seems to be rarer than even Conqueror's Haki Infusion. Now, that might potentially be one hell of a claim. You could argue that maybe, like, let's say in Marineford War, Aokiji used that future sight to perceive Whitebeard's attack, and that's why he's able to have his glaive face through his body. Maybe. We're not too sure. But as far as we know, as far as we can tell, when you look at Katakuri, who could not only see the future de facto, but also could hear the future, know what someone's going to say before they said it, like he was a JoJo's character. And then clearly not limited to just attacks and potentially not even intent. That's how good Katakuri was. Like, Katakuri is so good with that haki, to the point where no one in the verse, in terms of his future sight and his perception while using future sight. When Kaido went into his thieving drunk state for the first time, he was able to completely mimic the moves of the Snakeman attack and dodge accordingly. That does show a very high level of future sight perception, because precognition and perception are part of the observation haki package. This explains the reason why some people, in order to actually perceive and sense the future to a greater degree, they have to close their eyes. So I know how to close his eyes when he fought against Luffy to perceive his attacks better. Sunder Sonia the same way. Luffy himself the same way when he first started to develop future sight against Katakuri. My theory is that helps them perceive what's going to happen in the future to a better degree. Luffy himself is also another example of this, because again, in chapter 1001, he barely being able to dodge a base form Kaido with his future sight. So Kaido, in his flirty drunk to thieving drunk, whichever phase it was, has better perception than Luffy did in chapter 1001, because Kaido is seeing the future, perceiving Snakeman, dude. Snakeman, a form that fast and that powerful. But Katakuri doing it just like that just only elevates that ability, that haki ability, to a whole new level. Like, if you can utilize future sight to that degree, and not just that degree, but consistently, you are truly a phenom. You are truly a freak. And that is exactly what Katakuri continues to be. Literally tightrope walking through the Black Mamba. Shout outs to Kobe. Kobe, damn. Oh my God. It raises the bar on observation haki usage. It raises the bar of the rarity of that skill. It raises the bar of the potency of that skill. Like, you need, unless you yourself are very, very quick, like hauntingly quick, And even still, if you're that quick, you would still, in theory, need that haki in order to effectively dodge Snakeman, like what Kaido was doing. So look, all in all, this is a Katakuri buff. There's no other way you could slice it. This is a Katakuri buff. So thank you, Kaido, for being an absolute phenom. Thank you, Monkey D. Luffy, for showcasing some amazing feats. But my God, I gotta thank you both because you're also leveling my boy, the Lord and Savior of the Mega Church, Katakuri. Thank God. Thank God. And if you say no, if you want to be fraudulent and do some weasel action and try and say,
well, Katakuri actually, he didn't have the raw power and Snakeman was his power.
It could be the case here. Maybe that Snakeman is faster now than it was back then. I have no idea. It's possible? And because he's using Conqueror's Haki Infusion, we know for a fact that he's more powerful than Snakeman now, for sure. But when it comes to the speed, we don't know. So don't pretend like you know. What we do know is that if you have Future Sight, you get bitches. No Future Sight? No bitches.